In the quiet, remote village nestled between the mountains, the evening air was thick with mist, casting an otherworldly glow over the landscape. Old Jero, a figure known for his wisdom, sat on his wooden porch, staring out into the distance. His face, etched with deep lines from years of experience, held a calm serenity. Many people had come to him seeking guidance, and today was no different. A young woman named Amara made her way up the path toward Jero's home. Her heart was heavy, her mind cluttered with thoughts she couldn't quite shake. She had ambitions, dreams larger than anyone in her village could understand, yet something always held her back. As she approached the old man, her uncertainty was palpable. Without looking up, Jero spoke in his soft, knowing voice.
You fear the very thing you desire most, don't you?
Amara, startled by his words, sat beside him, ready to hear the wisdom she had long sought. Before we dive into the story of Amara and her journey to overcome her fear of success, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Here, you'll find more stories that inspire, challenge, and motivate you to reach your full potential. If you've ever felt held back by your fears or self-doubt, these stories are for you. Now, let's continue the journey with old Jero and Amara. Amara's eyes were filled with uncertainty as she looked at Jero.
How did you know?
She asked, her voice barely above a whisper.
I want to succeed, but every time I get close, I pull back. I don't understand why.
Jero chuckled softly.
You are not the first to feel this way, Amara. Many people think they fear failure, but what they truly fear is success. It's the unknown, the responsibility, the change that comes with it.
Amara furrowed her brow.
But why would anyone fear success? Isn't that what everyone strives for?
Jero began, his eyes twinkling with understanding.
Success is not just a prize, it's a transformation. And transformation can be terrifying. Let me tell you a story.
Amara settled in, her heart racing as she prepared to hear Jero's tale.
There was once a bird.
Jero began.
That lived its entire life in a cage. The bird had wings, of course, but it had never flown. The cage door was always open, yet the bird stayed inside, pecking at the food given to it and singing the songs it knew. One day, the wind blew a little stronger, and the cage wobbled, shaking loose a small piece of the roof. The bird looked up and, for the first time, saw the sky.
Jero paused, watching Amara's face as she absorbed his words.
The bird felt something stir deep within it, a longing it couldn't quite name. It spread its wings, hesitated, and then, just as it was about to fly, it stopped. The open sky was vast, and though it had dreamed of freedom, the bird feared what that freedom might bring. What if the wind was too strong? What if there was no food? What if it got lost?
Amara nodded slowly.
The bird was afraid of the unknown.
Exactly.
Jero said, his voice low.
It's easy to stay in the cage where things are predictable, where the risks are small, and the stakes are low. But that bird was meant to fly, just as you are meant to succeed. The cage, Amara, is your comfort zone. It's where you know you're safe, where you won't fail, but it's also where you won't truly live.
Amara leaned back, her mind racing.
I've always thought success would be this wonderful thing, but every time I get close, I start to worry. What if people expect more from me? What if I lose myself in it? What if I can't handle it?
Jero's eyes softened as he nodded.
These are the thoughts that keep many people trapped. Success changes things. It brings new challenges, new responsibilities, and sometimes new criticisms. But what you must realize, Amara, is that fearing success is a way of staying small. It's a way of telling yourself that you aren't worthy of more.
Amara's eyes widened.
I've never thought of it that way. I've always been afraid of failing, but maybe it's success that I've been running from.
Jero smiled gently.
You're beginning to understand. The fear of success often hides behind the mask of doubt. You might tell yourself you're not ready, or that you're not good enough, or that the timing isn't right. But these are just excuses your mind uses to keep you from stepping into your full potential.
But how do I overcome it?
Amara asked, her voice tinged with frustration.
How do I stop being afraid?
Jero leaned forward.
You don't stop being afraid. You embrace it. Fear is not the enemy. It's a guide. It shows you where the edges of your comfort zone lie. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to act in spite of it.
Amara tilted her head, confused.
Act in spite of it? How?
Let me ask you this.
Jero said.
What happens to the bird if it never leaves the cage?
Amara thought for a moment.
It stays the same. It never gets to experience the sky.
Exactly.
Jero said.
And if you let fear keep you from reaching for success, you'll stay in the same place too. You'll never know what you're truly capable of. The bird doesn't wait until it's no longer afraid to fly. It flies because that is its nature.
Amara felt a surge of emotion rise within her.
So, you're saying I should pursue success even if I'm scared of it?
Jero nodded.
Yes, fear will always be there. The unknown will always be there. But so will your potential. The only way to grow, to truly achieve your full potential, is to step into that unknown, to embrace the challenges and the changes that come with success.
Amara sat in silence for a moment, letting Jero's words sink in.
But what if I fail?
Jero chuckled again, his laughter warm and reassuring.
Failure. It's not the end, my dear. It's part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has failed many times. The difference is, they didn't let that stop them. They learned, they adjusted, and they tried again.
Amara looked at him, her eyes filled with determination.
I want to try. I want to see what I can become.
Jero smiled broadly.
Good. Then start by taking one step toward your dreams. It doesn't have to be big, but it must be bold. Push past the fear, and every time you do, you'll find that it has less power over you.
But what if people don't understand? What if they judge me?
Amara asked, her voice soft again.
Let them judge.
Jero said, his voice firm.
Their judgments are their own cages. Don't let them become yours. People who fear success often project that fear onto others. Your journey is your own, and no one else's opinions can take away your right to fly.
Amara felt a sense of clarity wash over her.
You're right. I've been holding myself back, and I've been blaming it on everything but the real problem, my fear.
Jero nodded.
Now that you see it for what it is, you can face it. Success is not a monster lurking in the shadows. It's an opportunity waiting for you to seize it.
The evening mist thickened around them, but Amara felt as if the weight that had been pressing on her chest was lifting. She stood, a new determination in her eyes.
Thank you, Jero. I think I'm ready to leave my cage.
Jero smiled once more, a twinkle in his wise eyes.
Fly, Amara. The sky has always been waiting for you.
As Amara walked back down the mountain path, the mist swirling at her feet, she felt a newfound sense of freedom. The fear was still there, lurking in the background, but it no longer controlled her. She realized now that the path to success was not about eliminating fear, but about moving forward in spite of it. Jero watched her disappear into the mist, a gentle smile on his face. Another soul had been freed from the cage of fear. He knew the journey ahead for Amara would be filled with challenges, but he also knew she was ready to face them. Thank you for following Amara's journey. If you're ready to break free from your own fear of success and embrace your full potential, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll share more stories, insights, and tools to help you take that next bold step toward your dreams. Together, we can face our fears and thrive.